Terezín, contrary to public information, was not a concentration camp. Terezín was originally a town, a fortress, which was built, I don't know, 17 something, against the Prussians by Maria Theresa, and it had walls. And the Germans decided that it would be a very good place to put all the Jewish population in as a waiting room, and from there to send them to the extermination camps or whatever. We didn't know anything about it at all. So amongst all the population, especially from Czechoslovakia, were original artists, professional artists, conductors, musicians, soloists, actors, writers. So they all came in and said, now, well, you know, since we are here, shouldn't we do something? We must use the art, we must perform here. This is terribly important. And it will not be entertainment. We need to create. It's a human nature. If people are incarcerated, they want to express themselves. The Germans have nothing against it. Yes, you go ahead. We will call it friendly evenings, Freudenabende. Oh, that was green light. People immediately started building stage and wooden benches and so on. The musicians, some of them brought their own instruments, which was allowed, started to be organized into a string quartet and later on into a full orchestra. There were young jazz musicians. So it was a sudden uplift. There were people who were composers, and they took the opportunity and wanted to create new music to express their feeling of the place and the situation and well, whatever one can express in music. And the result was that the people who came to a concert or to a play in that place suddenly felt human beings. Singing. So all that was allowed, but of course what we didn't know is what the Germans knew, that we were sentenced to death sooner or later. My personal story is that when the time came, most of the artists, whether it was theater or music or anything else, transport to the east on the train. We had no idea where we were going. There were old people, young people, children crying, some people died. You know, you accept these situations because it happens. There is nothing else you can do. Raphael Schechter was sitting opposite me. Suddenly, he took out a tin dish, last piece of bread, which we got, ration, and he had a tin of sardines. Gives it to me and says, Denko, here is my last ration of bread. I want you to break it up into the tin, put the whole lot of sardines in it, mix it up, and took a spoon out of his shoe, which he got stuck in. Mix it all up and give it to me. It will be my last dinner, my last supper. And I thought, why is he so pessimistic? We don't know where we're going, it mightn't be so bad. Let's see after we get there what happens and so on. One has to have hope. It was his last dinner. It was his last. When we arrived in Auschwitz, of course, it was a completely different story what happened. There were dogs and guards and noise and shouting and barbed wires, and you had no idea. So where are you? What is all this? No, nobody told us it exists. And there was a selection, but so quick that nobody could understand what it was about, what did it mean. In the middle was one of them, with his left hand leisurely, without any feeling, left, 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 right, next, next. My mother immediately left leisurely, like, you know, on me I was 19 already and a sportswoman and looked strong, so I went right. On my sister nothing, so I grabbed her and took her with me. And that was all. No idea that who went left went to immediate death in the gas chambers, and those with me right was labor, forced labor and so on, still being given a chance to live. Until the end of the war, I didn't even know where I was, what happened in Auschwitz.